All right, so I was at Walmart and I was actually headed there, and I see a guy who's standing out in front of the parking lot near the exit, and he's just standing there, and he looks really weird, like. And I couldn't put my finger on what was wrong with this guy, like what gave me this startled, disturbed feeling just by looking at him, and I was almost worried that he might do something like as I drove by him. Like I didn't understand what was wrong with this guy, right? And it was more his facial expressions. At least that's what I caught, right? So anyway, I go in, I buy something to come out, and I hear like two gunshots, super loud. And within like 2 minutes, the police are there. It's like probably like four or five of them. They arrive super quick, and they're just blocking everybody's way so nobody can see anything. And they have all their lights on, and the fire department shows up. Fire truck gets parked in between everybody, the customers, and the what happened. And this has happened in a different part of the parking lot from where he was standing originally. So I wasn't sure, but I just had a feeling that it was that guy. I just felt like it was that guy just because of how he looks. Um anyway, so yeah, it ended up being him, and the ambulance didn't show up for like almost it took forever. It seemed like, because I'm like, this guy got shot by a really high powered gun twice, and I was like, there's just no way that this guy could survive by the time the ambulance got there. So I pretty much already knew that the police just let this guy die, you know, and the ambulance didn't show up in time. It's probably like 45 minutes before the ambulance got there, maybe an hour. It was crazy. So there's a lot of different stories about why he did it, but or why what happened. I still don't really know what happened, but I know he got shot by an off-duty cop. And then I was listening to the police scanners while this was going on. As soon as I saw the police show up, I downloaded an app. I'm listening to them, and there was a lie going around. I was like, how did they even come up with this? They were saying that there was a high speed chase and it ended it in the parking lot, and somebody got killed, officer involved shooting. And I'm just like, there was no high speed chase, because I would have seen all that. And I know that guy wasn't that got killed. I know he wasn't in a car, and so I just knew that there's a bunch of lies. So I don't really trust anything that they say about the story. I just felt like this guy got killed just because of how he looks, and that's just how people are. Like if you have a disturbing look on your face, if you look weird, it's like people think that it's okay to hurt you. I don't know why people are like that, but that's how it is. So in general, uh, that's something that you should work on. If people think that you look angry or whatever, actually work on it. Um, Massage your face, stretch your face. There's a lot of exercise that you can do to keep your face in tune. Sometimes when you look at yourself in the mirror, if your face looks like really lopsided, it might have something to do with how if you chew too much on one side, if you do things more on one side, and it helps to stretch like your face and things like that. Just because you also, if you're abused a lot, there's a lot that it takes a toll on how you look, and it really can affect you if you're a woman. You know what I mean? Like, you want to look your best as a woman. Like, that's women like to look their best all the time, and there's something that, like, a bit of light comes away, like gets stolen from a woman, a certain brightness, a certain something about them really goes away if their abuser in a really bad situation. Like, you could almost just tell. But again, you want to work on things like that. Um, Also, like, if you were raised by a narcissist, they a lot of times they neglect you. Like, for an example, like when I was really young, I had to wear glasses. I was farsighted, and I broke my glasses while I was on the playground. I was probably like 7 years old, and I brought them home. And mind you, my parents were in the military, so it was like we got free health care. So instead of my dad just getting me a new pair of glasses, he decided to solder the glasses together, and he did it in the most um the, just an evil way of doing it. Like he just left a huge hunk of metal that wasn't a part of the glasses there. It was just like a big ball of metal, like right on the middle of the frame. And I nowadays I think that he just did that to be funny, and just to torture me a little bit or whatever, just to make me feel bad, I guess. I don't know. But he did that, and then I wore him for a little bit, and then I just threw him away, like eventually. And instead of them noticing that, okay, my kid isn't wearing glasses anymore, they just let me go on without glasses, you know? I felt like if I got rid of them and like they would eventually give me another pair, but they didn't. So and now certain things, like sometimes I'm looking at myself in the mirror, right? And this and my eyes aren't straight. Like I feel like I have a lazy eye or an offset eye. And like I've been doing some research, I'm thinking that it might have had an effect on me that I wasn't wearing my glasses, you know. Maybe I might be wrong, but the point is that they do little things like that. Like there was another time where I had a retainer, and I lost that or something like that, and they just let me go on without having a retainer anymore, like rather than get me another one. Even though again it's we you get discounted services, so it wasn't like they couldn't afford it. It was just like they didn't really care. They just kind of, I mean, and there's a long story that has to go with it. I feel like it was more my mom. My sister was my mom's like favorite, right? So she wanted to use my dad's because she was from a kid from a different relationship, a prior relationship. But she wants to use my dad's benefits because he was the one who was still in the army. My mom, that's how they met, but she got out. So she wanted to still use his benefits, but she can't just go and just take her kid and then leave his kid, you know what I mean? So she wanted to take me too, but it was more like going through the motions. So my sister had braces, like she made sure that she hit in every little uh schedule to tighten the braces and adjust that. She did all that, but and she could have brought me with her to pick up another retainer, but she didn't. You know, and it's just like stuff like that, little neglect, little things to because they kind of want you to look bad. They want you to have messed up teeth. They want you to have crooked eyes. They want you to look tense in the face. Your face is lopsided because one side is more tense than the other. They want all of that. And just there's a lot of stuff that can go on that a lot of things that you can do and can catch before it gets out of hand, before you start looking a certain way. And not only that, there's I mean, obviously things that you do with your everyday behavior. If you are moping around because you don't feel like you're treated right in your house, and then now you have that in your body language, your head's down, and then you don't want to be around anybody, so you end up doing things by yourself. So that's going to be you being on the computer or playing games or something like that, and then that affects your body language because we're not meant to be on a computer all day. And then you end up having ugly body language. You know, you rounded shoulders, head is forward. You end up tilting your head down more than what you normally would if you were out and about and just living life the way you naturally would live life. And all of this affects how people treat you. And it's one of those things where there's a balance between not caring, like, oh, I don't really care how anybody treats me, I'm going to be me, and caring enough so that you don't get shot at Walmart. I'm just kidding. Not that that's funny at all, but the thing is that it can get that bad where you get seriously harmed, or you miss out on a job opportunity or a relationship. I mean, relationships is one of those things where you probably shouldn't care as much because who like, but you want to give yourself the best chance anyway. So yeah, um, if you have problems with looking like you frown all the time, if people are always saying, "Why do you look so mad?" There's these things called frownies that you can use, like you can sleep in, so that your muscles, because a lot of people who have like the permanent scowls, they constantly are frowning in their sleep. They just hold their face, and it's something that their mind just does on its own. So over time, the muscles get stronger and stronger and stronger and bigger than the rest of your face and more developed. And then now you're always scowling and angry, like you're always frowning. So like anything like that, massaging out your face, keeping your face balanced, wearing frownies if you need them, taking care of your skin. If you're the type of person who grinds your teeth, and that's another thing. My parents knew that I grinded my teeth in my sleep, right? So I didn't understand why they never got like the mouth guard or something like that for me to prevent from grinding up my teeth. But they'll leave you and they'll let you grind up your teeth, and the next thing you know, as you get older, now you have a crooked smile, or your jaw is not centered the way it normally would. Just little neglect, and it's not just that they don't care. It's because they want you to look weird. And then finally, just people punching you in the face. Like if you have parents where you actually got into physical altercations with, um, that in and of itself is a problem too. Because getting punched in the face really can have a devastating, bare knuckles, somebody punching you in the face can really alter the way that you look. And people don't really realize that because we have boxing, we have MMA, and we think that it doesn't really affect them, or like they look okay, but they're fighting somebody that's their weight with gloves on, and a lot of them still look messed up in the face. Now imagine if you're getting hit in the face bare knuckle by somebody who outweighs you 40 or 50 pounds. Them hitting you, catching you off guard, bare like as hard as they can in the face. Like that can change the way that you look. Curve your face. I see people that like that all the time, where they have a crooked nose, and it does. It has a huge effect on how you look, you know. And at the end of the day, obviously, that's just another reason to get out of that situation, just because they're trying to deliberately make it where you lose that, you lose what God gave you. It's like them taking something away from you. So take all of it seriously every single day. Stretch your face, because even just feeling tense and anxiety and all that, that can affect you. So stretch out your face, massage your face, you know, and just take care of your teeth and every little thing. If you grind your teeth in your sleep, don't like act like it's not a problem because it's not hurting you or anything. Like, no, get a mouth guard, because again, that's another thing. Because your parents might have acted like stuff like that's not a big deal, then you go on with your life thinking that it's not a big deal when it is, or you think that how you look isn't a big deal. You know, that's like a message that they pass off to you. But I really talked a lot. So I wanted to also answer a couple questions. I got this from Thomas. It says, Jerry, have have you done and videos about the statement, observe, don't absorb? Don't put what people say onto yourself, I find it impossible not to absorb any tips how to do this. Um, I think the best way to do that is to just go into your situation knowing that the narc is going to do something to you that's negative. Like, you got to have your mind already geared towards that before you're in it already. Because even if you try to do the observe not and don't observe, ugh, I don't know why that's like a tongue twister right now, but even when you are trying not to absorb, it's one thing to do it when you're already in it versus going into the situation knowing that it's going to happen and just kind of already trying to think of different ways that it might happen, however they're going to attack you. You should be thinking that ahead of time, because if you go in and you're not even calculating anything, you're not even trying to figure out like different scenarios, not expecting it, your mind isn't tilted in that direction, then they catch you off guard with it, and now you're reacting to them, even if you're trying, because that's basically like that's part of the not absorbing, is like not reacting. You're not it's hard to be be in a reactive state and not absorb at the same time. Like, you got to be in a non-reactive state, and the only way to do that is already go in expecting it, and that'll help a lot. So here's another one from Andrew Johnson. He says, one question: can you tell me why they always keep trying to be on talking terms with you? And that's just basically them trying to stay in your life, obviously, but also to basically be able to manipulate you. It's about control, and it's also about not respecting any boundaries that you're putting up. Like, they want to have that from the beginning of the relationship all the way till the end, to the very end, until the point where you're like, you're just never going to talk to them again, and you're out of their life for good, and there's just no going back on that. So they want to always have it where they're stepping on your boundaries. So even if you say that you don't want to talk to them again, if you're trying to send them signs that you don't want to talk to them again, they're going to keep trying to contact you. As long as they feel like you're not going to actually hurt them, then it's like, I'm going to keep stepping on your boundaries. I'm not going to let you put up any rules or anything that I have to like respect. I'm going to step on everything that you're doing, and I'm going to keep doing that, because if I respect one thing from you, if I allow you to tell me or dictate anything to me, then it's like I lose everything. It's one of those things where they're always like on this thing where if they give you an inch, then you'll take a mile. So it's like I lose all control if I respect you in any aspect. So that's what this is about. It's like complete, just trying to walk on you and control you, and that's how they keep their hooks onto you. If they can't contact you, then they can't control you. And that's gonna do it for today. Thanks for watching. um, Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and that's all I got.